You're having your sense of worth stolen from you, and I know that because you're someone who scrolls every single day. You also use social media as a crutch, preventing you from growing and developing in ways that would support you. If you've clicked on this video, it's become apparent to you that using social media the way you are isn't helping you. And in this video, I'm basically going to be telling you how apps like Instagram, TikTok, and Snap are taking away your real sense of connection. The sense of connection that means much and will actually help you grow and develop. But before I begin, I'd really appreciate if you can like and subscribe, as it really helps the channel out. It also helps my content get to the right people who need to hear this message. But now that's out of the way, let me begin the video. You can probably agree with me when I say that social media is just making you less social. Which is surprising because you'd think that apps that are social would make you more social, right? This isn't the case, and here's why. Let's say you know someone from your school, or you know some girl that you like, but you've never managed to have a conversation with her or the other person I'm talking about. What social media allows you to do is essentially find out everything you need to know about that person. It allows you to sort of like spy on someone and get everything you need. Like on TikTok, you can look through someone's reposts to find out what they like, what they don't like, what their thoughts and opinions are on things, and just a lot more. Someone's Instagram following can suggest who they like and sort of what sort of personality or lifestyle they're living. And it's just surprising because we can find out so much about someone without even actually ever having to talk to that person. Things like reposts and following lists are so easy to find out information about someone and what their interests are. It's strange and bizarre because before social media and before people were addicted to their phones, to like someone and to figure them out, you'd have to speak to them in person, you'd have to garner a conversation, or you'd have to build a sort of connection. Now it's like, if there's a girl you like in your class, you can find out everything you know about her without actually ever having to talk to her. You can snoop through her following, you can look at her reposts. You don't really need to talk to them, or anyone for that matter. And this is what it leads on to, and it's like, let's say there's a girl in your class that you like, and you've looked through her following and you know everything about her, and you look through her reposts because you just like her, right? You're just trying to see what she's about. But then if you were to meet in person, you were to have like an actual conversation, that conversation's actually really, really strange now. And the reason why that conversation's really, really strange is simply because you don't need to find anything out. Like, you've got everything you need. There isn't really a question you could ask her. And then what ends up happening is the conversation and the interaction you have is really, really awkward, because not only do you not really know what to say, but you kind of feel like a spy because you're talking to this girl that you like, but instead of just talking to her like you're getting to know her, you know everything about her, which is a bit weird. Like, by this point, like after you know someone and you've basically seen everything about them through social media, there isn't really anything to ask and there isn't really anything new to discover. All you're trying to do if you do speak to that person is just trying to figure out if they match what you've seen. And that's one of the reasons as to why social media is taking away your sense of connection, is because you find out all the information about someone before you even get to even speak to them. This brings me on to my second point, and it's that after you get all the information you know about someone, what ends up happening is any real life face-to-face interaction or conversation becomes limited. All of that meeting up in person, going on like dinners, all of that becomes less interesting because now you've got social media and you can use your phone. You just start to spam messages, spam calls, and just completely forget about the concept of talking to someone in person and really meeting up with them. You end up using messages and calls and snaps as a substitute to real life connection, and that's a really big problem. Like, it gets so bad to the point where I know people who never meet up in real life. They're always messaging, they're always snapping, they're always like video calling, FaceTiming. And it's just really, really bad because essentially what you're doing is you're replacing real life connection with virtual connection. And that's a big no-no. Another thing that kind of saves people and it makes social media and messaging online way more easier is that there's no risk of awkwardness. Like, at all. There's zero risk of awkwardness. There's like no risk of you stumbling over your words or you just looking a bit shy when you talk. Messages can't really convey feelings or emotions. What they can do is just tell you the things how they are. So someone says, I am sad. You won't really know how to view that. It's all dependent on you and how you're feeling in that moment. What messages do is they also just tend to like make you less empathetic, and you don't really understand people from their perspective. You kind of just have your own view on things. Another thing is that there's no attachment formed and there's no positive return on investment with whoever you're speaking to, whether it's a romantic partner, a girl you're trying to talk to, or even just friends. There's no attachment being formed, and there's no real sense of brotherhood or connection. Another thing that's interesting is that anyone who's really close to you and is like a best friend or you've been speaking to for ages, what's interesting to note is that that person has probably been someone you speak to in person. Like, think about what I've just said there. The person you're closest with is the person you see in person the most. It's not the person you're on video calls all the time with. It's not someone you message and spam messages and have your entire conversation in messages. It's someone you see and talk to in real life. I just wanted to throw that out there because what I'm saying is 100% factual. Every step you take to just speaking to people in real life and genuinely being more social makes your life way better and you're just way happier. Conversations become programmed. Like now you have people saying ICL and like short abbreviations for full words. People don't really use full sentences because even then it's just messaging like that is a drag. Messages just become robotic. They just become one sentence or two sentences and they're not actually that useful. And the thing is, you can't really have depth in conversations over messages, and here's why. And when I say depth in terms of messages, I mean people really talking to you as if you're there and they can hear you and you can hear them. So when I say depth again, what I mean is like deep conversations that you wouldn't be able to have over messages. The reason why people don't tend to do that is because there's just a risk of being vulnerable. If someone's talking about something that's happened in the past or something about family or anything along those lines or something intrinsic to them, it just feels really vulnerable talking about that over messages because especially now in this generation, we've got people screenshotting, you've got people sending it to other people and it just becomes a massive mess. Like loads of people have trust issues and they fear other people screenshotting what they've said, and it's just a generation we've grown up in where people are just narcissistic and they don't care about you or your feelings, so they'll disregard you, they'll screenshot your shit and then they'll send it to other people. These types of people are cancerous, by the way, and this is why trust issues tend to stem, because what ends up happening is someone tries to invest and have a deep meaningful conversation, or they say something sensitive that otherwise they wouldn't want other people knowing about, and the person they've sent it to for whatever reason tends to screenshot it, sends it to other people, and people just turn on each other, which I think is pretty disgusting. And if anyone was to turn on you or me, I would basically just be repulsed by that and I would just bin off people forever. Like that's kind of a rule I have, and it's that you need to live with an open heart. Like this is a chapter from The Way of the Superior Man. I'll try and pop it up on screen. It's that you need to live with an open heart instead of a closed one. And it basically just speaks about how you need to speak to people as if you wouldn't care if other people found out. And it's like, if they do, just bin them off, never speak to them again, cut them off, delete their numbers, don't speak to them. Because the people you can trust are people you respect. And the people you respect are the people you can get along with. So always remember that. This links to my last point, and it's that using social media to connect isn't even really ideal, and it just causes a lot of problems. For example, you can be left undelivered, or you can be left unseen, or you can be left on red. And this might annoy you, and you might not even know that your friend's phone's run out of charge and he isn't able to message you. So then now all of a sudden you think he's annoyed at you, you think he hates you, you think that all of these problems are bad, even though he could have just had his phone run out of charge or die. It's the same with a girl as well, right? You might be messaging a girl and then she doesn't respond or she doesn't message, and all of a sudden you think that she doesn't like you or she's just disinterested, when her phone might have just been lost or she might have got it crushed under a bus or something. What aggravates this even more and what makes this even worse is that girls play games a lot, like especially in relationships. People tend to play games a lot. Like for example now, you don't know if a girl's ignoring you or if she's busy. Like it's just, you can't tell. Like for example, a girl might say, oh, I was busy, but then she might have just left you undelivered, or she might just be ignoring you and she might use it as a cover up. Like for example, let's say you're on call with someone and you're on FaceTime and then mid-conversation their phone just dies and they can't find their charger. If they cut off the phone call, you might think that they don't like you, or they're just pissed off at you, or they just don't want to continue the conversation. And when you try messaging again saying what happened, they don't respond. Your mind just starts filling in with the worst things when it's just a small problem. And it's like, let's say you're talking to a girl or a guy, right? Or let's say you're talking to a friend. If you say something like, I don't like how you're messaging, could you speak more clearly? Someone might say that's gay or that's weird, right? And it's just crazy how much of a world we live in now where communicating effectively is seen as a problem. So in summary, you using social media to communicate hasn't helped you. And I'm hoping you've understood that by this part of the video. I'm hoping you can see how social media is destroying your connections with others over time, and it just isn't helping you as much as you think it is. There's other things that add to that, like comparison culture and excessive scrolling, but that's probably something I'm going to highlight and go into more detail in other videos. So if you haven't already, just like and subscribe so you can see that when that next comes out. But by this point, you're probably wondering what you can actually do, and you're probably just thinking in your head, okay, Raihan, you've spoken about the 3 problems. Now I want actual action advice. I want to know what I can actually do from this point on and what I can take from this video. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you exactly what you can do to move on and make massive progress with your life so you're happy, healthy, and you're just a more improved version of yourself. It's simple, but so many people overlook it. And it's just connecting in real life and speaking to people way more. Every single person I've gone out with consistently and people I've spoken to lots and met up in real life, it's always been amazing. And they're the types of friends you want to be around because you can actually have real depthful conversations and you can actually connect in a meaningful way. And I want you to just meet people more. Go out for dinner, go to the park, go for conversations. Just meet up and do stuff in person way more. Don't just sit behind a phone and message and do random other shit. Just meet each other more and be grateful for their presence. Like see friends often, arrange meetups, go on trips together. You might even want to go on holiday together. Do these things because you'll be way more grateful for the person you're with than just having them on your phone. And the benefits of this is just absolutely insane. Every single area of your life improves. You develop healthier relationships, have healthier increases in hormones like oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin. And overall, you're just way more happier and fulfilled with life. Now I've told you in summary exactly what you need to do. I haven't sugarcoated, I haven't wasted your time. You have pretty much exactly what you need to do to improve. What that's left for you to do is take action and improve. If this video's helped you, feel free to comment breakthrough down below to show support. But before I go, there's one last thing I'll say, and it's that always strive for excellence because great things will come your way.